Rivers crisis, Fubara inaugurates judicial panel on killing arson. Hello viewers and welcome to InfoGist TV. Rivers State Governor Similayi Fubara has inaugurated a judicial commission of inquiry to investigate the arson, killings and destructions of the property at various local government council secretariats in the state. Fubara inaugurated the seven-member commission at the executive chamber of the government house in Port Harcourt on Tuesday. This was contained in a statement issued by the Chief Press Secretary to the Governor Nelson Chukudi and sent to newsmen. The commission that has 1 month to conclude its assignment has Justice Ibiwengi Minakere as chairman, Mrs. Ingi Brown as a secretary, and Uzo Ikenga as a counsel. Other members are Felicia Nwuki, Professor Blessing Didia, Sir Samuel Egbe, and Venerable Alex Usifo. The government said the recent attacks and burning of local government council secretariats on October 7, 2024 seemed like a repeat of what was experienced in 2014, months to the general elections of 2015, when courts were set ablaze, residents bombed and people killed, leading to the closure of courts in Rivers State. Fubara said his administration would not look away while ill-guided youth and sponsored political thugs turned the state into a theater of violence without being made to pay for such crimes against the state. He said, "So I have decided to take this action to find out the immediate and remote causes of this arson. Most importantly, no matter the personalities involved, we must bring them to book. So this assignment is very important. It is an assignment that, if it is not done rightly, would give the enemies of this state opportunity to continue. And if we are right, it is going to be the end of further destructions of public property in the state. I know it is going to be very taxing. I can assure you that there will be threats, but you have to be strong." The governor stated that it is long overdue to inaugurate the commission of inquiry owing to incidents that have been witnessed since his administration came on board. He explained, and sometime in the past, about October 2023, a similar incident was experienced, and because he had thought that everybody was of the same political family, he decided to let go. He added that the persistence of the violence and differences between people who had once worked together have seemingly destroyed chances of settling any misgivings internally. Fubara emphasized that it has become very clear that rather than getting close to the path of peace, the state is gradually turning into a kingdom where law and order is no longer the order of the day. And we cannot fold our hands and allow such thing to happen, he stated. He further continued by stating that on the 5th of October 2024, we had an election in the state. Before the election, we also heard from a lot of quarters songs of war and threats, but we never took them seriously because we believed that the local government election is a prerogative of the state government. It has nothing to do with anybody anywhere that is outside the confinement of the state. And for that reason, we believe strongly that whatever it is, we could manage it to produce the purpose of that election, he further stated. But it is very unfortunate that after the election, even while the election was going on, several things happened, which we managed thinking it was going to end there. The day after the election, there were also more threats from people, and we also thought it was just a normal threat, believing that it was not going to be out of hand, but it did. Fubara told members of the commission that God has not made any mistake to find them suitable for the assignment given to them. He urged them to work with the minds of actualizing the purpose of the assignment and noted that history will not forget their responsibilities given to them. The governor outlined the terms of reference of the assignment given, saying that they must determine the underlying causes of the violence and identifying the individuals or groups reasonable for the attacks on some local government council headquarters and the harm caused to the citizens, evaluate the extent of damage to the property, infrastructure, and human lives, and estimate the financial losses incurred, examine whether the violence was politically motivated, and if so, identify the key players and their roles in instigating the violence, assess the effectiveness of security agencies' response to the violence, and identify areas for improvement, investigate the actions of individuals and groups involved in the violence in the face of the relevant laws, including Violence Against Persons Prohibition Act 2015 and so on, advice on adequate compensation and support for victims and their families, as well as measures to prevent further occurrences, make recommendations on long-term strategies to prevent similar incidents in the future, including recommendations for policy reforms, community engagement and conflict resolution mechanisms, recommend appropriate sanctions for individuals and groups for culpable, make other relevant recommendations in line of its findings, which the Commission may consider appropriate, and also mandated the Commission to submit its report within 1 month. Fubara said the task will not be easy on them, but added that they must brace up and do what is right for the good of Rivers State. Meanwhile, The Rivers State Police Command has commenced a full-scale investigation into the post-election violence which rocked some local government areas of the state, leading to the loss of lives and burning of 3 local government secretariats on Monday. The newly deployed Commissioner of Police, Mustafa Mohammed, disclosed this during an on-the-spot assessment of the 3 affected local government areas on Wednesday. Mohammed also disclosed that a high-powered investigation team of seasoned police officers, led by the Deputy Commissioner of Police, State Criminal Investigation Department, had been assigned the task, and said the report of the investigation would be submitted to the Inspector General of the Police upon completion. Recall that violence broke out in many councils of the state on Monday after the IG Kayode Ebutekon ordered that the secretaries of the 23 local government areas of the state be unsealed as a group of loyal people to some political actors laid siege to the council and prevented the newly elected chairman from entering their offices. Mohammed said police operatives had begun intensive patrols to build confidence of the residents and reassure them of their safety. He added that a series of measures had been put in place aimed at ensuring adequate security in the state. CP Mohammed sued for peace among stakeholders in the state and urged members of the public to collaborate with the police to ensure peace is fully restored in the state. I'm preaching the gospel of peace to everybody. I am a preacher of peace, a peacemaker. I'm an ambassador of peace. My message to everybody is to let us collaborate to maintain law and order. The state is not volatile. This is relative peace. There is relative peace, and we will continue to ensure public safety. We will collaborate with all critical stakeholders, both state and non-state actors, to ensure the safety and security of the entire state, he stated. Aside from the visit to Ikere, Emoha, and Elemi local government areas, where their securities were touched by suspected talks, CP Mohammed and some members of his management team also visited Port Harcourt City and Obiakpo Council's headquarters of the state. Meanwhile, the River State government, through the State Commissioner for Information and Communication, Joseph Johnson, had blamed the police for the violence that rocked the various local government areas of the state. Johnson on Wednesday accused the police of reneging on its responsibilities of protecting the lives and properties of citizens. He described the decision of the police to withdraw from providing securities during last Saturday's elections in the state as a conspiracy. It is to tell you that there is a conspiracy by the Nigerian police, and I put every blame on the Nigerian police for leaving a whole state unpoliced on Saturday. It tells you that anything could have happened. It meant to your tent, O Israel, to every resident of the state. By the constitution, the least job of the police is to protect lives and properties of the state, and they ignored it. I think that the police, who ought to be at the center of the blame, was not there, and they also know that there are other unseen hands. No man can destroy his own house. There is no way the governor could set any of the councils ablaze and watch 3 councils being burned while there was even an attempt on the Ohio Akko Council. In the same vein, the River State Elders and Leadership Forum called on the people to remain peaceful regardless of the provocations.